Hello, this is David Whispers, and tonight I was going to record this whole video wearing this. I don't know if you can see it, if this is in podcast form or if you're watching it on YouTube, but I am wearing the hat, the little cap that Eric Cartman wears from the show South Park, and that is what we are going to be learning about tonight. So, tell you what, I'll sport this for about as long as I can before I start to heat up, at which point I'm definitely going to have to take this off. This cannot last forever, but can't wait to find out about these two guys, Matt and Trey. You know what I'm talking about. Here we go. South Park is an American adult animated sitcom created by Trey Parker and Matt Stone and developed by Brian Graydon for Comedy Central. The series revolves around four boys: Stan Marsh, Kyle Broflovsky, Eric Cartman, and Kenny McCormick, and their exploits in and around the titular Colorado town. South Park became infamous for its profanity and dark, surreal humor that satirizes a wide range of topics toward an adult audience. Parker and Stone developed South Park from two animated short films, both titled The Spirit of Christmas. The second short became one of the first internet viral videos, ultimately leading to South Park's production. The pilot episode was produced using cutout animation, leading to all subsequent episodes being produced with computer animation that emulated the cutout technique. South Park features a very large ensemble cast of recurring characters. Since its debut on August 13th, 1997, 309 episodes of South Park have been broadcast. It debuted with great success, consistently earning the highest ratings of any basic cable program. Subsequent ratings have varied, but it remains one of Comedy Central's highest-rated programs. Two television specials, the Pandemic Special and South Park Vaccination Special, respectively premiered in September 2020 and March 2021. In August 2021, Parker and Stone announced a deal with Viacom CBS, which slates the show through season 30 in 2027 for Comedy Central, and the production of a series of films made exclusively for Paramount Plus, with two premiering later in 2021. On November 25th, 2021, the first film, South Park Post-COVID, was released on Paramount Plus. South Park has received numerous accolades, including 5 Primetime Emmy Awards, a Peabody Award, and numerous inclusions in various publications' lists of greatest television shows. A film based on the series, South Park Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, was released in June 1999 to commercial and critical success, garnering an Academy Award nomination. In 2013, TV Guide ranked South Park the 10th greatest TV cartoon of all time. The premise, starting with setting and characters. The show follows the exploits of four boys: Stan Marsh, Kyle Broflovsky, Eric Cartman, and Kenny McCormick. The boys live in the fictional small town of South Park, located within the real-life South Park Basin in the Rocky Mountains of central Colorado. The town is also home to an assortment of frequent characters such as students, families, elementary school staff, and other various residents who tend to regard described South Park as a bland, quiet place to live. Prominent settings on the show include the local elementary school, bus stop, various neighborhoods, and the surrounding snowy landscape, actual Colorado landmarks, and the shops and businesses along the town's main street, all of which are based on the appearance of similar locations in Fairplay, Colorado. As one of the few long-running TV shows set in the Mountain West region that takes place outside the urban core of Denver, South Park frequently features the unique culture of the region, including cattle ranchers, Old West theme parks, snowy climates, mountaineering, Mormons, real-life Colorado locations such as Casa Bonita and Cave of the Winds, and many other regionally specific characteristics not frequently seen on national TV shows. Stan is portrayed as the everyman of the group, as the show's website describes him as an average American fourth grader. Kyle is the lone Jew among the group, and his portrayal in this role is often dealt with satirically. Stan is modeled after Parker, while Kyle is modeled after Stone. They are best friends, and their friendship, symbolically intended to reflect Parker and Stone's friendship, is a common topic throughout the series. Eric Cartman, usually nicknamed by his surname only, is loud, obnoxious, and amoral, often portrayed as an antagonist. His anti-Semitic attitude has resulted in a progressive rivalry with Kyle, although the deeper reason is the strong clash between Kyle's strong morality and Cartman's complete lack of such. Kenny, who comes from a poor family, wears his parka hood so tightly that it covers most of his face and muffles his speech. During the show's first 5 seasons, Kenny died in nearly every episode before returning in the next, with little to no definitive explanation given. He was written out of the show's 6th season in 2002, reappearing in the season finale. Since then, Kenny's death has been seldom used by the show's creators. During the show's first 58 episodes, the boys were in 3rd grade. In the season 4 episode, 4th grade, they entered the 4th grade and have remained there ever since. Plots are often set in motion by events ranging from the fairly typical to the supernatural and extraordinary, which frequently happen in the town. The boys often act as the voice of reason when these events cause panic or incongruous behavior among the adult populace, who are customarily depicted as irrational, gullible, and prone to overreaction. The boys are also frequently confused by the contradictory and hypocritical behavior of their parents and other adults, and often perceive them as having distorted views on morality and society. On themes and style, each episode opens with a tongue-in-cheek all-persons fictitious disclaimer. All characters and events in this show, even those based on real people, are entirely fictional. All celebrity voices are impersonated, poorly. The following program contains coarse language, and due to its content, it should not be viewed by anyone. South Park was the first weekly program to be rated TVMA and is generally intended for adult audiences. The boys and most other child characters use strong profanity, with only the most taboo words being bleeped during a typical broadcast. Parker and Stone perceive this as the manner in which real-life small boys speak when they are alone. South Park commonly makes use of carnivalesque and absurdist techniques, numerous running gags, violence, sexual content, offhand pop cultural references, and satirical portrayal of celebrities. Early episodes tended to be shock value oriented and featured more more slapstick-style humor. While social satire has been used on the show occasionally earlier on, it became more prevalent as the series progressed, with the show retaining some of its focus on the boys' fondness of scatological humor in an attempt to remind adult viewers what it was like to be 8 years old. Parker and Stone also began further developing other characters by giving them larger roles in certain storylines, and began writing plots as parables based on religion, politics, and numerous other topics. This provided the opportunity for the show to spoof both extreme sides of the contentious issues, while lampooning both liberal and conservative points of view. Parker and Stone describe themselves as equal opportunity offenders, whose main purpose is to be funny and make people laugh, while stating that no particular topic or group of people be exempt from mockery and satire. Parker and Stone insist that the show is still more about kids being kids and what it's like to be in elementary school in America, stating that the introduction of a more satirical element to the series was the result of the two adding more of a moral center to the show so that it would rely less on simply being crude and shocking in an attempt to maintain an audience. While profane, Parker notes that there is still an underlying sweetness aspect to the child characters, and Time described the boys as sometimes cruel but with a core of innocence. Usually, the boys or other characters pondered over what transpired during an episode and conveyed the important lesson taken from it with a short monologue. During earlier seasons, this speech commonly began with a variation of the phrase, "You know, I've learned something today." The development. Parker and Stone met in film class at the University of Colorado in 1992 and discovered a shared love of Monty Python, which they often cite as one of their primary inspirations. They created an animated short entitled The Spirit of Christmas. The film was created by animating construction paper cutouts with stop motion and features prototypes of the main characters of South Park, including a character resembling Cartman but named Kenny, an unnamed character resembling what is today Kenny, and two near identical unnamed characters who resemble Stan and Kyle. Fox Broadcasting Company executive and mutual friend Brian Graydon commissioned Parker and Stone to create a second short film as a video Christmas card. Created in 1995, the second The Spirit of Christmas short resembled the style of the later series more closely. To differentiate between the two homonymous shorts, the first short is often referred to as Jesus vs. Frosty, and the second short as Jesus vs. Santa. Graydon sent copies of the video to several of his friends, and from there it was copied and distributed, including on the internet, where it became one of the first viral videos, as previously stated. As Jesus vs. Santa became more popular, Parker and Stone began talks of developing the short into a television series about 4 children residing in the fictional Colorado town of South Park. Fox eagerly agreed to meet with the duo about the show's premise, having prided itself on edgier products such as Cops, The Simpsons, and The X-Files. However, during the meeting at the Fox office in Century City, disagreements between the two creators and the network began to arise, mainly over the latter's refusal to air a show that included a supporting talking stool character named Mr. Hanky. Some executives at 20th Century Fox Television, which was to produce the series, agreed with its then sister network's stance on Mr. Hanky and repeatedly requested Parker and Stone to remove the character in order the show to proceed. Refusing to meet their demands, the duo cut ties with Fox and its sister companies altogether and began shopping the series somewhere else. The two then entered negotiations with both MTV and Comedy Central. Parker preferred the show to be produced by Comedy Central, fearing that MTV would turn it into a kids' show. When Comedy Central executive Doug Herzog watched the short, he commissioned for it to be developed into a series. Parker and Stone assembled a small staff and spent 3 months creating the pilot episode, Cartman Gets an Anal Probe. South Park was in danger of being canceled before it even aired when the show fared poorly with test audiences, particularly with women. However, the shorts were still gaining more popularity over the internet, and Comedy Central ordered a run of 6 episodes. South Park debuted with Cartman Gets an Anal Probe on August 13th, 1997. And the production. Except for the pilot episode, which was produced using cutout animation, all episodes of South Park are created with the use of software, primarily Autodesk Maya, as opposed to the pilot, which took 3 months to complete, and other animated sitcoms, which are traditionally hand-drawn by companies in South Korea, in a process that takes roughly 8 to 9 months. Individual episodes of South Park take significantly less time to produce. Using computers as an animation method, the show's production staff were able to generate an episode in about 3 weeks during the first seasons. Now, with a staff of about 70 people, episodes are typically completed in 1 week, with some in as little as 3 to 4 days. Nearly the entire production of an episode is accomplished within one set of offices, which were originally at a complex in Westwood, Los Angeles, California, and are now part of South Park Studios in Culver City, California. Parker and Stone have been the show's executive producers throughout its entire history. Debbie Liebling, who was Senior Vice President of Original Programming and Development for Comedy Central, also served as an executive producer during the show's first 5 seasons, coordinating the show's production efforts between South Park Studios and Comedy Central's headquarters in New York City. During its early stages, finished episodes of South Park were hastily recorded to D2 to be sent to Comedy Central for airing in just a few days' time. The writing. Scripts are not written before a season begins. Production of an episode begins on a Thursday, with the show's writing consultants brainstorming with Parker and Stone. Former staff writers include Pam Brady, who has since written scripts for the films Hot Rod, Hamlet 2, and Team America World Police with Parker and Stone, and Nancy Pimentel, who served as a co-host of Win Ben Stein's Money and wrote the film The Sweetest Thing after her tenure with the show during its first 3 seasons. Television producer and writer Norman Lear, an alleged idol of both Parker and Stone, served as a guest writing consultant for the season 7 episodes, Canceled and I'm a Little Bit Country. During the 12th and 13th seasons, Saturday Night Live actor and writer Bill Hader served as a creative consultant and co-producer. After exchanging ideas, Parker will write a script, and from there, the entire team of animators, editors, technicians, and sound engineers will each typically work 100 to 120 hours in the ensuing week. Since the show's 4th season, Parker has assumed most of the show's directorial duties, while Stone relinquished his share of the directing to focus on handling the coordination and business aspects of the production. On Wednesday, episode is sent to Comedy Central's headquarters via satellite uplink, sometimes just a few hours before its airtime of 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Parker and Stone state that subjecting themselves to a one-week deadline creates more spontaneity amongst themselves in the creative process, which they feel results in a funnier show. The schedule also allows South Park to both stay more topical and respond more quickly to specific current events than other satiric animated shows. One of the earliest examples of this was in the season 4 episode of Quintuplets 2000, which references the United States Border Patrol's raid of a house during the Elian Gonzalez affair, an event which occurred only 4 days before the episode originally aired. The season 9 episode Best Friends Forever references the Terry Schiavo case and originally aired in the midst of the controversy and less than 12 hours before she died. A scene in the season 7 finale, It's Christmas in Canada, references the discovery of dictator Saddam Hussein in a spider hole and his subsequent capture, which happened a mere 3 days prior to the episode airing. The season 12 episode, About Last Night, revolves around Barack Obama's victory in the 2008 presidential election and aired less than 24 hours after Obama was declared the winner, using segments of dialogue from Obama's real victory speech. On October 16th, 2013, the show failed to meet their production deadline for the first time ever after a power outage on October 15th at the production studio prevented the episode, Season 17's Goth Kids 3 Dawn of the Posers, from being finished in time. The episode was rescheduled to air a week later on October 23rd, 2013. On August 6th, 2021, South Park was renewed all the way up to season 30 and 14 additional movies, enough to carry the show to at least 2027. And let's talk about the animation. The show's style of animation is inspired by the paper cutout cartoons made by Terry Gilliam for Monty Python's Flying Circus, of which Parker and Stone have been lifelong fans. Construction paper and traditional stop-motion cutout animation techniques were used in the original animated shorts and in the pilot episode, as previously stated. Subsequent episodes have been produced by computer animation, providing a similar look to the originals while requiring a fraction of the time to produce. Before computer artists begin animating an episode, a series of animatics drawn in Toon Boom are provided by the show's storyboard artists. The characters and objects are composed of simple geometrical shapes and primary and secondary colors. Most child characters are the same size and shape and are distinguished by their clothing, hair color, and skin color, and headwear. Characters are mostly presented two-dimensionally and from only one angle. Their movements are animated in an intentionally jerky fashion, as they are purposely not offered the same free range of motion associated with hand-drawn characters. Occasionally, some non-fictional characters are depicted with photographic cutouts of their actual head and face in lieu of a face reminiscent of the show's traditional style. Canadians on the show are often portrayed in an even more minimalist fashion. They have simple beady eyes, and the top halves of their heads simply flap up and down when the characters speak. When the show began using computers, the cardboard cutouts were scanned and redrawn with Corel Draw, then imported into Power Animator, which was used with SGI workstations to animate the characters. The workstations were linked to a 54 processor render farm that could render 10 to 15 shots processor render farm that can produce 30 or more shots an hour. Power Animator and Maya are high-end programs mainly used for 3D computer graphics, while co-producer and former animation director Eric Stowe notes that Power Animator was initially chosen because its features helped animators retain the show's homemade look. Power Animator was also used for making some of the show's visual effects, which are now created using Motion, a newer graphics program created by Apple for their Mac OS X operating system. The show's visual quality has improved in recent seasons, though several other techniques are used to intentionally preserve the cheap cutout animation look. A few episodes feature sections of live-action footage, while others have incorporated other styles of animation. Portions of the Season 8 premiere Good Times with Weapons are done in anime style, while the Season 10 episode Make Love Not Warcraft is done partly in machinima. The Season 12 episode Major Boobage, an homage to the 1981 animated film Heavy Metal, implements scenes accomplished with rotoscoping. The voice cast. Parker and Stone voice most of the male South Park characters. Mary Kay Bergman voiced the majority of the female characters until her death in November 1999. Mona Marshall and Eliza Schneider succeeded Bergman, with Schneider leaving the show after its 7th season. She was replaced by April Stewart, who, along with Marshall, continues to voice most of the female characters. Bergman was originally listed in the credits under the alias Shannon Cassidy to protect her reputation as the voice of several Disney and other kid-friendly characters. Stewart was originally credited under the name Gracie Lazar, while Schneider was sometimes credited under her rock opera performance pseudonym Blue Girl. Other voice actors and members of South Park's production staff have voiced minor characters for various episodes, while a few staff members voice recurring characters. Supervising producer Jennifer Howell voices student Bebe Stevens. Co-producer and storyboard artist Adrian Beard voices Token Black, who is the school's only African-American student until the introduction of Nicole in Cartman Finds Love. Writing consultant Vernon Chapman voices an anthropomorphic towel named Towley, and production supervisor John Hansen voices Mr. Slave, the former gay lover of Mr. Garrison. Throughout the show's run, the voices for toddler and kindergarten characters have been provided by various small children of the show's production staff. When voicing child characters, the voice actors speak within their normal vocal range while adding a childlike inflection. The recorded audio is then edited with Pro Tools, and the pitch is altered to make the voice sound more like that of a 4th grader. Isaac Hayes voiced the character of Chef, an African-American soul-singing cafeteria worker who was one of the few adults the boys consistently trusted. Hayes agreed to voice the character after being among Parker and Stone's ideal candidates, which also included Lou Rawls and Barry White. Hayes, who lived and hosted a radio show in New York during his tenure with South Park, recorded his dialogue on a digital audio tape while a director gave directions over the phone, after which the tape would be shipped to the show's production studio in California. After Hayes left the show in early 2006, the character of Chef was killed off in the season 10 premiere, The Return of Chef. Guest stars. Celebrities who are depicted on the show are usually impersonated, though some celebrities do their own voices for the show. Celebrities celebrities who have voiced themselves include Michael Buffer, Brent Musburger, Jay Leno, Robert Smith, and the bands Radiohead and Korn. Comedy team Cheech and Chong voiced characters representing their likeness for the season 4 episode Cherokee Hair Tampons, which was the duo's first collaborative effort in 20 years. Malcolm McDowell appears in live-action sequences as the narrator of the season 4 episode Pip. Jennifer Aniston, Richard Belzer, Natasha Henstridge, Norman Lear, and Peter Serafinowicz have guest starred as other speaking characters. During South Park's earliest seasons, several high-profile celebrities inquired about guest starring on the show. As a joke, Parker and Stone responded by offering low-profile, non-speaking roles, most of which were accepted. George Clooney provided the barks for Stan's dog Sparky in the season 1 episode Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride. Leno provided the meows for Cartman's cat in the season 1 finale Cartman's Mom is a Dirty Slut, and Henry Winkler voiced the various growls and grunts of a kid-eating monster in the season 2 episode City on the Edge of Forever. Jerry Seinfeld offered to lend his voice for the Thanksgiving episode Starvin' Marvin, but declined to appear when he was only offered a role as Turkey Number 2. Let's talk music. Parker says that the varying use of music is of utmost importance to South Park. Several characters often play or sing songs in order to change or influence a group's behavior or to educate, motivate, or indoctrinate others. The show also frequently features scenes in which its characters have disapproving reactions to the performances of certain popular musicians. Adam Berry, the show's original score composer, used sound synthesis to simulate a small orchestra and frequently alluded to existing famous pieces of music. Berry also used signature acoustic guitar and mandolin cues as leitmotifs for the show's establishing shots. After Berry left in 2001, Jamie Dunlap and Scott Nicoli of the Los Angeles-based Mad City Production Studios provided the show's original music for the next 7 seasons. Since 2008, Dunlap has been credited as the show's sole score composer. Dunlap's contributions to the show are one of the few that are not achieved at the show's own production offices. Dunlap reads a script, creates a score using digital audio software, and then emails the audio file to South Park Studios, where it is edited to fit with the completed episode. In addition to singing in an effort to explain something to the children, Chef would also sing out about things relevant to what had transpired in the plot. These songs were original compositions written by Trey Parker, and they were performed by Hayes in the same sexually suggestive R&B style he had used during his own music career. The band DVD-A, which consists of Parker and Stone, along with show staff members Bruce Howell and D.A. Young, performed the music for these compositions, and until the character's death on the show, were listed as Chef's band in the closing credits. Rick James, Elton John, Meatloaf, Joe Strummer, Ozzy Osbourne, Primus, Rancid, and Ween all guest starred and briefly performed in the season 2 episode Chef Aid. Korn debuted their single Falling Away From Me as guest stars on the season 3 episode Korn's Groovy Pirate Ghost Mystery. As for the main theme, the show's theme song was a musical score performed by the band Primus, with the lyrics sung by the band's lead singer, Les Claypool, and the show's 4 central characters during the opening title sequence. Kenny's muffled lines are altered after every few seasons. His lines are usually sexually explicit in nature, such as his original lines, I like girls with The original unaired opening composition was originally slower and had a length of 40 seconds. It was deemed too long for the opening sequence, so Parker and Stone sped it up for the show's opening, having Claypool re-record his vocals. The instrumental version of the original composition is often played during the show's closing credits. The opening song, played in the first 4 seasons and the end credits in all seasons, has a folk rock instrumentation with bass guitar, trumpets, and rhythmic drums. Its beat is fast in the opening and leisurely in the closing credits. It is in the minor key and features a tritone or a diminished fifth, creating a melodic dissonance, which captures the show's surrealistic nature. In the latter parts of Season 4 and Season 5, the opening tune has an electro-funk arrangement with pop qualities. Seasons 6 through 9 have a sprightly bluegrass instrumentation with the usage of banjo and is set in the major key. For the latter seasons, the arrangement is electro rock with a breakbeat influence, which feature electric guitars backed up by synthesized groovy drum beats. The opening theme song has been remixed 3 times during the course of the series, including a remix performed by Paul Robb. In 2006, the theme music was remixed with the song Whamola by Colonel Les Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade from the album Purple Onion. As for distribution internationally, South Park is broadcast in India, New Zealand, and several countries throughout Europe and Latin America on channels that are subsidiaries of Comedy Central and Viacom CBS domestic media networks, both subsidiaries of Viacom CBS. In distribution deals with Comedy Central, other independent networks also broadcast the series in other international markets. In Australia, the show is broadcast on the Comedy Central, and free-to-air channel SBS Viceland before 2009, while new episodes aired on SBS. The program also airs free-to-air in Australia on 10 Shake, a sister network to Comedy Central through Viacom CBS. The series is broadcast uncensored in Canada, in English on the Comedy Network, and later Much. South Park also airs in Irish on TG4 in Ireland, STV in Scotland, Comedy Central and MTV in the UK, previously on Sky One, Channel 4, and Viva, with 5-Star recently picking up where Viva left off, B92 in Serbia, and on Game 1 and NRJ12 in France. In September 2020, SBS, which aired South Park in Australia since 1997, removed South Park from its television lineup, though reruns could air on SBS Viceland. As for the syndication, broadcast syndication rights to South Park were acquired by Debmar Mercury and Tribune Entertainment in 2003 and 2004, respectively. Episodes further edited for content began running in syndication on September 19th, 2005, and are aired in the United States with the TV-14 rating. 20th Television replaced Tribune as co-distributor in early 2008. The series is currently aired in syndication in 90% of the television markets across the US and Canada, where it generates an estimated $25 million a year in advertising revenue. In 2019, CBS Television Distribution, the syndication arm of Viacom-CBS, the parent company of Comedy Central, took over the full distribution rights following the acquisition of 21st Century Fox, parent of 20th Television, by the Walt Disney Company, who had employed Debmar Mercury founder Mort Marcus as the head of their syndication division, distributing the show in syndication and Viacom-CBS airings. As for the home media, complete seasons of South Park have been regularly released on their entirety on DVD since 2002, with season 23 being the most recently released. Several other themed DVD compilations have been released by Rhino Entertainment and Comedy Central, while the 3-episode Imagination Land story arc was reissued straight to DVD as a full-length feature in 2008. Blu-ray releases started in 2008 with the release of Season 12. Subsequent seasons have been released in this format alongside the longer-running DVD releases. The first 11 seasons were released on Blu-ray for the first time in December 2017. As for streaming, in March 2008, Comedy Central made every episode of South Park available for free, full-length, on-demand, legal streaming on the official South Park Studios website. From March 2008 until December 2013, new episodes were added to the site the day following their debut, and an uncensored version was posted the following day. The episode stayed up for the remainder of the week, then taken down and added to the site 3 weeks later. Within a week, the site served more than 1 million streams of full episodes, and the number grew to 55 million by October 2008. Legal issues prevent the U.S. content from being accessible outside the U.S., so local servers have been set up in other countries. In September 2009, a South Park Studios website with streaming episodes was launched in the UK and Ireland. In Canada, episodes were available for streaming from the Comedy Network's website, though due to digital rights restrictions, they are no longer available. In July 2014, it was announced that Hulu had signed a 3-year deal purchasing exclusive online streaming rights to South Park for a reported $80 million. Following the announcement, every episode remained available for free on the South Park Studios website using the Hulu player. As of September 2014, following the premiere of the 18th season, only 30 select episodes are featured for free viewing at a time on a rationing basis on the website, with new episodes being available for an entire month starting the day following their original airings. The entire series is available for viewing on Hulu. In April 2010, the Season 5 episode Super Best Friends and the Season 14 episodes 200 and 201 were removed from the site. Additionally, these episodes no longer air in reruns and are only available exclusively on DVD and Blu-ray. These episodes remain unavailable following the 2014 purchase by Hulu. In early October 2019, industry rumors suggested that the streaming rights for South Park were being offered to various services, creating an intense bidding war that was estimated to be as high as $500 million. HBO and South Park Digital Studios announced that HBO had secured a multi-year deal for the exclusive streaming rights for South Park on their HBO Max service starting June 24th, 2020. While the terms of the deal were not disclosed, Variety reported the deal fell between $500 million and $550 million. Re-rendered episodes. 1997 to the season 12 finale in 2008, the series had been produced in standard definition. In 2009, the series switched to being produced in high definition 1080p with the beginning of the 13th season. Since this, all seasons originally produced in standard definition have been remastered by South Park Studios, being fully re-rendered in high definition. The re-rendered versions were also released on Blu-ray. Several of the re-rendered episodes from the earlier seasons have their original uncensored audio tracks. They had previously been released in censored form. The 5th season episode, Super Best Friends, which was pulled from syndication and online streams following the controversy surrounding episode 201, was not released alongside the rest of the season when it was released in HD on iTunes in 2011. The episode was later re-rendered and made available for the Blu-ray release of the season that was released on December 5th, 2017. The episode is presented in its original presentation, without Muhammad's image being obscured as in later episodes of the series. And its reception, starting with ratings. When South Park debuted, it was a huge ratings success for Comedy Central and is seen as being largely responsible for the success of the channel, with Herzog crediting it for putting the network on the map. The show's first episode, Cartman Gets an Anal Probe, earned a Nielsen rating of 1.3 at 980,000 viewers, at the time considered high for a cable program. The show instantly generated buzz among television viewers, and mass viewing parties began assembling on college campuses. By the time the 8th episode, Starvin' Marvin, aired 3 months after the show debuted, ratings and viewership had tripled, and South Park was already the most successful show in Comedy Central's history. When the 10th episode, Damien, aired the following February, viewership increased another 33%. The episode earned a 6.4 rating, which at the time was over 10 times the average rating earned by a cable show aired in prime time. The ratings peaked with the 2nd episode of Season 2, Cartman's Mom is Still a Dirty Slut, which aired on April 22nd, 1998. The episode earned an 8.2 rating, 6.2 million viewers, and at the time set a record as the highest rated non-sports show in basic cable history. During the spring of 1998, 8 of the 10 highest rated shows on basic cable were South Park episodes. The success of South Park prompted more cable companies to carry Comedy Central and led it to its becoming one of the fastest growing cable channels. The number of households that had Comedy Central jumped from 9.1 million in 1997 to 50 million in June 1998. When the show debuted, the most Comedy Central had earned for a 30-second commercial was $7,500. Within a year, advertisers were paying an average of $40,000 for 30 seconds of advertising time during airings of South Park in its 2nd season, while some paid as much as $80,000. By the 3rd season, the series' ratings began to decrease. The 3rd season premiere episode drew 3.4 million viewers, a dramatic drop from the 5.5 million of the previous season's premiere. Stone and Parker attributed this drop in the show's ratings to the media hype that surrounded the show in the previous year, adding that the 3rd season's ratings reflected the show's true fan base. The show's ratings dropped further in its 4th season, with episodes averaging just above 1.5 million viewers. The ratings eventually increased, and seasons 5 through 9 consistently averaged about 3 million viewers per episode. Though its viewership is lower than it was at the height of its popularity in its earliest seasons, South Park remains one of the highest rated series on Comedy Central. The season 14 premiere gained 3.7 million viewers, the show's highest rated premiere since 1998. In 2016, a New York Times study of the 50 TV shows with the most Facebook likes found that, perhaps unsurprisingly, South Park is most popular in Colorado. More recent seasons have seen substantially lower ratings, with the 2019 season averaging 0.82 million viewers an episode. Recognitions and awards. In 2004, Channel 4 voted South Park the third greatest cartoon of all time. In 2007, Time magazine included the show on its list of the 100 best TV shows of all time, proclaiming it as America's best source of rapid-fire satire for the past decade. The same year, Rolling Stone declared it to be the funniest show on television since its debut 10 years prior. In 2008, South Park was named the 12th greatest TV show of the past 25 years by Entertainment Weekly, while AOL declared it as having the most astute characters of any show in history when naming it the 16th best television comedy series of all time. In 2011, South Park was voted number 1 in the 25 greatest animated TV series poll by Entertainment Weekly. The character of Cartman ranked 10th on TV Guide's 2002 list of the top 50 greatest cartoon characters, 198th on VH1's 200 greatest pop culture icons, 19th on Bravo's 100 greatest TV characters television special in 2004, and 2nd on MSNBC's 2005 list of TV's scariest characters, behind Mr. Burns from The Simpsons. In 2006, Comedy Central received a Peabody Award for South Park's stringent social commentary and undeniably fearless lampooning of all that is self-important and hypocritical in American life. In 2013, the Writers Guild of America ranked South Park at number 63 among the 101 best written shows ever. Also, in 2013, TV Guide listed the show at number 10 among the 60 greatest cartoons of all time. In 2019, the series was ranked 42nd on the Guardian newspaper's list of the 100 best TV shows of the 21st century. South Park won the Cable Ace Award for the Best Animated Series in 1997, the last year the awards were given out. In 1998, South Park was nominated for the Annie Award for Outstanding Achievement in an Animated Primetime or Late-Night Television Program. It was also nominated for the 1998 GLAAD Award for Outstanding TV Individual Episode for Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride. South Park has been nominated for the Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program 16 times: 1998, 2000, 2002, 2004 through 11, and 2013 through 17. The show has won the award for Outstanding Animated Program for programming less than 1 hour 4 times for the 2005 episode Best Friends Forever, the 2006 episode Make Love Not Warcraft, the 2009 episode Margaritaville, and the 2012 episode Raising the Bar. The Imagination Land trilogy of episodes won the Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program for programming 1 hour or more in 2008. As for the criticism, the show's frequent depiction of taboo subject matter, general toilet humor, excess to younger viewers, disregard for conservative sensibilities, negative depiction of liberal causes, and portrayal of religion for comic effect have generated controversy and debate over the course of its run. As the series became popular, students in 2 schools were barred from wearing South Park-related t-shirts, and the headmaster of a UK public school asked parents not to let their children watch the program after 8 and 9-year-old children voted the South Park character Cartman as their favorite personality in a 1999 poll. Parker and Stone assert that the show is not meant to be viewed by young children, and the show is certified with TV ratings that indicate its intention for mature audiences. Parents Television Council founder L. Brent Bozell III and Action for Children's Television founder Peggy Charin have both condemned the show, with the latter claiming it is dangerous to the democracy. Several other activist groups have protested the show's parodies of Christianity and portrayal of Jesus Christ. Stone has stated that parents who disapprove of South Park for its portrayal of how kids behave are upset because they have an idyllic version of what kids are like, adding, "Kids don't have any kind of social tact or etiquette. They're just complete little raging bastards." Controversies. The show further lampooned the controversy surrounding its use of profanity, as well as the media attention surrounding the network show Chicago Hope's singular use of the word shit. With the season 5 premiere, It Hits the Fan, in which the word shit is said 162 times without being bleeped for censorship purposes, while also appearing uncensored in written form. In the days following the show's original airing, 5,000 disapproving emails were sent to Comedy Central. Despite its 43 uncensored uses of the racial slur, the season 11 episode, with apologies to Jesse Jackson, generated relatively little controversy, as most in the black community and the NAACP praised the episode for its context and its comedic way of conveying other races' perceptions of how black people feel when hearing the word. Specific controversies regarding the show have included an April Fool's Day prank played on its viewers in 1998, its depiction of the Virgin Mary in the season 9 finale Bloody Mary that angered several Catholics, its depiction of Steve Irwin with a stingray barb stuck in his chest in the episode Hell on Earth 2006, which originally aired less than 2 months after Irwin was killed in the same fashion. Comedy Central's censorship of the depiction of Muhammad in the season 10 episode Cartoon Wars Part 2 in the wake of Gylan's Postin Muhammad cartoons controversy, and consistent mockery of the concept of climate change by using climate change denialist talking points. The season 9 episode Trapped in the Closet denounces Scientology as nothing more than a big fat global scam, while freely divulging church information that Scientology normally only reveals to members who make significant monetary contributions to the church. The episode also ambiguously parodies the rumors involving the sexual orientation of Scientologist Tom Cruise, who allegedly demanded any further reruns of the episode be cancelled. Isaac Hayes, a Scientologist, later quit South Park because of his objection to the episode. The season 14 episodes 200 and 201 were mired in controversy for satirizing issues surrounding the depiction of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. The website for the organization Revolution Muslim, a New York-based radical Muslim organization, posted an entry that included a warning to creators Parker and Stone that they risk violent retribution for their depiction It's said that they will probably wind up like Theo Van Gogh for airing his show. The posting provided the address to Comedy Central in New York and the production company in Los Angeles. The author of the post, Zachary Adam Chesser, whose alias is Abu Talha al-Amriki, said it was meant to serve as a warning to Parker and Stone, not a threat, and that providing the address was meant to give people the opportunity to protest. Despite Chesser's claims that the website entry was a warning, several media outlets and observers interpreted it as a threat. Support for the episode has come in the form of Everybody Draw Muhammad Day, a movement started on Facebook that encourages people to draw Muhammad on May 20th. The 200 episode, which also depicted the Buddha snorting cocaine, prompted the government of Sri Lanka to ban the series outright. Due to many taboo topics in China, such as Dalai Lama, Winnie the Pooh, summary execution, cannabis culture, and organ harvesting being involved in the season 23 episode Banned in China, South Park was entirely banned in China after the episode's broadcast. The series Baidu Baiki article, Baidu Tieba forum, Douban page, Zihu page, and Bilibili videos have been deleted or inaccessible to the public. All related keywords and topics have been prohibited from being searched and discussed on China-based search engines and social media sites including Baidu, QQ, Sina Weibo, and on WeChat public platforms. Parker and Stone issued a sarcastic apology in response. And we're on to the influence and legacy. Are you still awake? The cultural impact. Commentary made in episodes has been interpreted as statements Parker and Stone are attempting to make to the viewing public, and these opinions have been subject to much critical analysis in the media and literary world within the framework of popular, philosophical, theological, social, and political concepts. Since South Park debuted, college students have written term papers and doctoral theses analyzing the show, while Brooklyn College offers a course called South Park and Political Correctness. Soon after one of Kenny's trademark deaths on the show, other characters would typically shout, "Oh my God, they killed Kenny," followed by another yelling out, "You bastards." These lines were usually said by the characters Stan and Kyle, respectively. The exclamation quickly became a popular catchphrase, while the running gag of Kenny's recurring deaths is one of the more recognized hallmarks among viewers of modern television. Cartman's exclamations of "respect my authority" and "screw you guys, I'm going home" became catchphrases as well, and during the show's earlier seasons were highly popular in the lexicon of viewers. Cartman's eccentric intonation of "hey" was included in the 2002 edition of the Oxford Dictionary of Catchphrases. In the Season 2 episode Chef Aid, attorney Johnny Cochran uses what's called in the show the Chewbacca Defense, which is a legal strategy that involves addressing plot holes related to Chewbacca in the film Return of the Jedi, rather than discussing the trial at hand during a closing argument in a deliberate attempt to confuse jurors into thinking there is a reasonable doubt. The term Chewbacca Defense has been documented as being used by criminologists, forensic scientists, and political commentators in their various discussions of similar methods used in legal cases at public forums. Another Season 2 episode, Gnomes, revolves around a group of underpants gnomes who, as their name suggests, run a corporation stealing people's underpants. When asked about their business model, various gnomes reply imply that theirs is a 3-step process. Phase 1 is collect underpants. Phase 3 is profit. However, the gnomes are unable to explain what is to occur between the first and final steps, and Phase 2 is accompanied by a large question mark on their corporate flowchart. Using question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, and profit as the last 2 steps in a process, usually jokingly, has become a widely popular internet meme because of this. Especially in the context of politics and economics, underpants gnomes has been used by some commentators to characterize a conspicuous gap of logic or planning. When Sophie Rutschman of University of Strasbourg discovered a mutated gene that causes an adult fruit fly to die within 2 days after it is infected with certain bacteria, she named the gene KEP1 in honor of Kenny. As for the political, while some conservatives have condemned South Park for its vulgarity, a growing population of people who hold center-right political beliefs, including teenagers and young adults, have embraced the show for its tendency to mock liberal viewpoints and lampoon liberal celebrities and icons. Political commentator Andrew Sullivan dubbed the group South Park Republicans or South Park Conservatives. Sullivan averred that members of the group are extremely skeptical of political correctness, but are also socially liberal on many issues, though he says the phrase applied to them is meant to be more of a casual indication of beliefs than a strong partisan label. Brian C. Anderson describes the group as generally characterized by holding strong libertarian beliefs and rejecting more conservative social policy, and notes that although the show makes wicked fun of conservatives, it is at the forefront of a conservative revolt against liberal media and Hollywood's liberal hegemony. Parker and Stone reject the idea that the show has any underlying political position and deny having a political agenda when creating an episode. The two claim the show's higher proportion of instances lampooning liberal rather than conservative orthodoxies stems simply from their preference for making fun of liberals. While Stone has been quoted saying, "I hate conservatives, but I really hate liberals." Stone and Parker have explained that their drive to lampoon a given target comes first from the target's insistence on telling other people how to behave. The duo explain that they regard liberals as having both delusions of entitlement to remain free from satire and a propensity to enforce political correctness while patronizing the citizens of Middle America. Parker and Stone are uncomfortable with the idea of themselves or South Park being assigned any kind of partisan classification. Parker said he rejects the South Park Republican and South Park Conservative labels, feeling that either tag implies that one only adheres to strictly conservative or liberal viewpoints. The duo has in the past reluctantly labeled themselves libertarians and fans of government gridlock. In 2006, they said that they were rooting for Hillary Clinton in 2008 simply because it would be weird to have her as president. And for more on the franchise, we will click that link, but we're not going to because we got all the way to the end of the South Park television show Wikipedia page, which is crazy long. It says I last hit the record button about an hour and a half ago. When this is edited down, who knows what it'll be. I wonder if I'll get an hour out of this. This could very well be the longest video yet. This could be longer than the PewDiePie video. And back then, a month ago when I started this stuff, 30 plus videos ago, I remember I was speaking really slowly. I was really trying to dig deep in everything, being perfectly enunciated. Could you hear that car drive by behind me? Well, look at this. I'm still wearing the hat, cap, beanie as it is. Made it through. I did not overheat. It's winter time. That's why I started thinking, what am I going to do? I do have this cap right here, and then it reminded me to do the South Park video. Definitely leave any kind of wintry or Christmassy things you want to see me read. Got a request for Macaulay Culkin the other day. Since it's Christmas time, I think I might do Home Alone rather than Macaulay Culkin, just because, want to keep it Christmas-centric specifically. Let's get back on topic and just kind of wrap up South Park. I do need to get to sleep, so I'll just be quick. Life-changing show. What more can you actually say about it if you actually were around for the birth of this show? You know how life-changing it actually was. I was one of those, what did it say, roughly 900,000 people for that premiere episode of Cartman Gets an Anal Probe, and it killed everyone. It absolutely crushed. Because The Simpsons, the biggest show, biggest cartoon at the time, perhaps they still are, I do not know, The Simpsons did not use such profanity, so it was shocking to see. And if you don't care about profanity, and dare I say you even use profanity in your day-to-day, it was a welcome change. South Park was a welcome change. Still watch it every once in a while. I used to watch it far more, but I'll leave you with this. What I will say is, rather than going and watching a bunch of South Park, which is fine if you want to do that, go for it. It's an awesome show. I highly, highly, highly recommend, if you haven't seen it already, to go and see the behind-the-scenes making of a South Park show. Alright, one of their episodes, and I believe I'm going to get the title wrong, but Google will be kind to you, I'm sure, if you just Google something like South Park 6 days to air. I believe it's 6, 7, 8. You know what? I really liked it, and I've seen it several times. In fact, when I am working on a project, I will actually put that show on, that documentary, I should say. South Park. Perhaps it's 7 days. I think it's 7. No, I was correct. It is South Park 6 days. 6 days to air. South Park. Okay? Go and see that, and you will see how they have expertly crafted this machine. They're like the Henry Ford of the crass cartoon, if there is such a thing. They figured out how to assembly line this thing and pump them out, but still retain their legendary wit and cutting-edge humor. Like it said, they are so fast. They are one of, if not the only, cartoon or show to be as topical as 24 hours ago. That's how up to the minute they are. Having said that, my stomach just grumbled. I am going to sleep. I want you people to see something. Okay, I'm about to show you something right now. Look at this. I don't know why it's not. There we go. Yeah, it is 5:13 a.m. Saturday, December 4th, and I'm going to bounce this video out and edit it and get it to you people, because I'm motivated to crank my stuff out just like Trey and Matt crank their stuff out. It's motivating. This is a video of motivation is what it was. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Actually, I'll talk to you in the comments what I'm talking about. Thanks for chatting with me. Thanks for talking with me and leaving so many good comments. It is fun hanging with you people. But for those of you who I don't by Colonel Les Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade. Les Claypool's Fearless Flying Frog Brigade. King you, Les.